I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
Here's this name of this writer that cut through. That was interesting to me because, in older generations, everybody was listening to the same radio shows,
Is the carefully cultivated image of Blake Lively Hollywood's darling about to shatter? For years, she's reigned supreme, a dazzling actress, style icon, and seemingly a woman in complete control of her narrative. But what if the perception of a harmonious, collaborative star is nothing more than a meticulously constructed illusion? The simmering controversy surrounding the film It Ends With Us has exploded, unleashing a torrent of accusations, counter-accusations, and digital evidence that threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about Blake Lively and the power dynamics of Hollywood. According to a newly unveiled mountain of information, the truth behind the scenes is far more complex, volatile, and frankly shocking than anyone anticipated.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
Just a few months ago, the entertainment world was rocked by Blake Lively's explosive allegations against Justin Baldoni, the director and co-star of It Ends With Us. She meticulously crafted a narrative of a director who flagrantly disregarded professional boundaries, consistently undermined her creative contributions, and fostered a toxic and hostile work environment on set. Lively's allies in the industry swiftly echoed her claims, amplifying her voice and seemingly cementing Baldoni's role as the villain.
I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna f*** up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize.
The narrative became stark and seemingly unassailable. Lively, the vulnerable victim, bravely speaking out against a powerful figure who abused his position. Baldoni, the callous perpetrator, responsible for creating an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. The accusations, splashed across countless headlines and social media feeds, painted a portrait of a man whose career was teetering on the brink of collapse. But was there more to the story?
I was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of two people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious. Either you got the job or there's something wrong. And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
What? Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
Justin Baldoni, however, refused to be silenced. He has now launched a daring and comprehensive counteroffensive, meticulously constructing a website dedicated to exposing what he vehemently argues is the raw data and unvarnished truth behind the escalating controversy. This digital battleground is far more than a simple denial of the accusations. It's a meticulously curated repository of legal filings, detailed timelines, and a staggering trove of text messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes documentation. Baldoni's strategic move aims to completely dismantle Lively's carefully constructed narrative, revealing a vastly different and far more nuanced version of events. One that paints Blake Lively not as the helpless victim she portrayed herself to be, but as a calculating and potentially manipulative force who strategically wielded her influence to control the production and ultimately shape the narrative to her own advantage. The stakes have been raised considerably.
But there's no hesitancy. I'm happy to send it to you. And I'm sorry that has happened to you before. And I hope after this experience there will be a new, I don't know, I hope it'll be healing in some way. Because that's all I want. I want this movie to be healing. I want this movie to be commercial, just like you, and affect people and touch people. And I want to walk you through my whole plan and the work that we're doing with the domestic violence partner that we found, No More, and just my vision. And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's going to be special. And you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm going to stop rambling because, Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done. Cutting myself off. Good night.
One of the most emotionally charged and undeniably damaging accusations leveled against Justin Baldoni by Blake Lively was the assertion that he had callously and repeatedly ignored established professional boundaries during the filming of particularly sensitive and intimate scenes, leaving her feeling deeply vulnerable, emotionally exposed, and ultimately lacking the essential support and protection that she rightfully deserved. This particular accusation, striking a raw nerve in the wake of the powerful and transformative Me Too movement, immediately fueled public outrage and seemingly solidified the perception of Baldoni as yet another example of a powerful figure who had brazenly abused his position of authority and exploited a vulnerable actress for his own selfish and unprofessional gain. However, Baldoni's website strategically throws a significant and potentially devastating wrench into that carefully constructed narrative, presenting a wealth of previously unseen internal production emails, meticulously detailed schedules, and documented protocols that paint a starkly contrasting picture of the on-set environment, one where an independent and highly experienced intimacy consultant was hired specifically to ensure the comfort, safety, and well-being of all actors involved in the filming of intimate scenes.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much, but we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
Where daily check-ins were rigorously and consistently conducted to proactively address any potential concerns, anxieties, or discomfort, and where multiple designated production members were readily available to immediately intervene and provide unwavering support if anyone felt even the slightest bit of unease, pressure, or emotional distress at any point during the filming process. Was Lively truly left without adequate support, guidance, and professional protection, as she has so emphatically claimed in her public statements? Or was there, in reality, a meticulously planned and rigorously enforced safety net in place, a carefully constructed system of checks and balances designed to protect the well-being of all involved, that she has conveniently chosen to selectively overlook, deliberately downplay, or perhaps even outright deny in her highly subjective and potentially self-serving recounting of events? This particular aspect of the unfolding drama is undeniably compelling, as the two stars present diametrically opposed and irreconcilable stories about the same alleged incidents, leaving the public to grapple with the difficult and unsettling task of determining where the truth ultimately lies.
And find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together, it's unbelievable. Talk about energy, just to force all three of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good, and it's gonna make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think, and you and I have been trying to build a relationship which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are.
The relentless Hollywood war that has now consumed Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has inevitably spilled over into the digital realm, transforming social media platforms and online news outlets into a sprawling and fiercely contested battleground. In this high-stakes conflict, both sides are strategically wielding carefully selected and meticulously curated text messages as powerful weapons, each attempting to bolster their respective claims, sway public opinion in their favor, and ultimately inflict lasting damage on the reputation of their opponent. Lively's team initially presented a series of carefully chosen and selectively edited snippets of text exchanges, painstakingly designed to support her overarching narrative of feeling consistently undermined, creatively stifled, and ultimately controlled by Baldoni throughout the production process.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. That's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really reach in and touch somebody's heart.
However, Baldoni's website has now boldly unveiled what he claims are the complete, unedited, and contextually accurate versions of these same conversations, meticulously preserved in their entirety and accompanied by accurate timestamps and detailed metadata that he alleges directly and irrefutably contradict the carefully crafted and strategically misleading narrative presented by Lively's camp. These purportedly unadulterated messages suggest that Lively frequently made last-minute and often unreasonable demands for extensive script rewrites, insisted on having unprecedented and potentially disruptive access to the daily footage, the dailies, and even hinted at the possibility of orchestrating a boycott of crucial press events and promotional appearances if the overall creative direction of the film did not perfectly align with her highly specific, unwavering, and seemingly non-negotiable vision. The publication of these messages has created an intensely difficult and confusing situation for the public.
Talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space, and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges, because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening, and all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together, and I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there. Has been there from the start, so I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met, and I think it does come from the both of us being hardworking and having a vision and not settling.
Adding yet another layer of intricate complexity, dramatic intrigue, and undeniable star power to this already tangled web of accusations, denials, and carefully constructed narratives is the significant and undeniably influential involvement of Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively's husband and one of the most bankable, recognizable, and respected actors working in Hollywood today. Whispers, rumors, and carefully planted leaks have long swirled throughout the industry, suggesting that Reynolds allegedly confronted Baldoni on multiple occasions over perceived slights, instances of disrespect, or creative disagreements that Lively had personally brought to his attention. According to Baldoni's amended legal complaint, Reynolds' influence extended far beyond simply advocating for his wife's concerns. It permeated nearly every aspect of the film's production, subtly, and not so subtly, shaping the decision-making process, influencing key casting choices, and ultimately contributing to an atmosphere of intense pressure and constant scrutiny on the set. Did the combined star power, financial clout, and undeniable influence of Reynolds and Lively, a veritable Hollywood power couple, create an environment where Baldoni felt compelled to constantly tread carefully, self-censor his artistic instincts, and potentially sacrifice his own creative vision in order to appease the demands and avoid the potential wrath of this formidable and highly influential duo?
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
The website provides additional, highly contested, and undeniably sensational details surrounding a previously reported meeting that took place at Reynolds and Lively's opulent and heavily guarded home, a gathering that has now become a pivotal point of contention in this unfolding Hollywood saga. What was initially portrayed by Lively's team as a relatively amicable opportunity to openly and honestly address creative disagreements, foster a more collaborative working relationship, and ultimately find common ground on the direction of the film, Baldoni now claims was, in reality, a tense, uncomfortable, and ultimately intimidating confrontation where he felt unfairly singled out, intensely pressured to conform to Lively's demands, and ultimately forced to comply with demands that he considered to be both unreasonable and detrimental to the overall quality and artistic integrity of the film. Text messages allegedly sent by Lively to Baldoni in the days and weeks leading up to and following the now infamous meeting purportedly suggest that if Baldoni failed to wholeheartedly embrace her specific requests, the full and considerable force of her vast star power, her extensive network of powerful industry contacts, and the potentially devastating influence of her husband, Ryan Reynolds, would be ruthlessly unleashed upon him, effectively sabotaging his career and ensuring that his vision for the film would never come to fruition. Was this meeting a genuine attempt at productive negotiation and sincere compromise? Or was it a thinly veiled threat, a calculated display of power designed to intimidate Baldoni into complete submission and ensure that Lively's unwavering vision for the film would prevail, regardless of the potential consequences for Baldoni himself, the artistic merit of the project, or the overall well-being of the production?
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really...
The explosive revelations contained within Baldoni's meticulously constructed website have ignited a raging inferno across social media platforms, throughout the entertainment industry, and within the wider public consciousness, creating a deeply polarized and intensely divided landscape. Fans have passionately and vehemently aligned themselves with either Team Blake, steadfastly dismissing Baldoni's website as nothing more than a cynical, manipulative, and ultimately desperate ploy designed to deflect blame, smear Lively's carefully cultivated reputation, and salvage what remains of his own tarnished career. Or Team Justin, equally vehemently pointing to the wealth of newly unveiled evidence, the unedited text messages, the internal production emails, the behind-the-scenes photographs, and the compelling timelines as irrefutable proof of Lively's alleged controlling behavior, her attempts to dominate the production, and her willingness to strategically manipulate the narrative to her own personal and professional advantage. Comment sections on social media platforms are awash in a cacophony of accusations, defenses, impassioned debates, and often deeply personal attacks, while the mainstream media struggles to sift through the competing claims, analyze the available evidence, and determine where the elusive truth ultimately lies amidst this swirling vortex of accusations and denials. The court of public opinion has officially convened, and the jury remains fiercely and irrevocably divided.